Welcome back guys, and we're going to continue our discussion in identifying drawing tools and materials used in illustration. Ako nga pala si Teacher C, a secondary school teacher of Angeles City Senior High School Schools Division of Angeles City. So let's start. Let's start. Identifying drawing tools and materials used in illustration. This is more focused on the actual tools that will be used. So first, here are our topic for today: tools, equipments, and materials in arts. So first question, in what ways can you use Adobe Illustrator? It is just a review. You may post this video and write your answer on the comment section down below. Then, for you, what is the most useful tool in Illustrator? So, you may post this video and write your answer in the comment section down below. Let's start with tools, equipments, and materials in arts. So, everything that I'll be telling you today, you're not required to buy them. Kung ano lang ang meron kayo, that is the thing, those are the things that you'll be using. You don't need to buy anything, except for the paper, of course. Okay, but if you have digital, much better. Okay. So first, let's talk about dry materials. So you're all familiar with pencils. Pencils are made of graphite or plastic lead sticks surrounded by a wood casing. Graphite or plastic lead varies in density from hard to medium to soft. Okay, so talk about that concept from hard, medium to soft. So different pencils, like soft pencils and hard pencils, have different characteristics. Like for example, soft pencils are graded with the letter B and numbered from B to 6B. The larger the number before the B, the softer the pencil material. So when are we using soft pencils? Soft leads are used for sketching and shading because they are generally darker and easier to manipulate, while hard pencils are graded with the letter H and numbered from H to 6H. The larger the number before the H, the harder the pencil material. So when are we using hard pencils? The hardest leads are used to create sharp, clear lines, example in drafting or in architectural drawings. So basically, it depends on what you are going to illustrate. Like for example, you're more on sketching, you're more on putting shades or shadows on your drawings or illustrations, you use soft pencils. But if you are more on precise, sharp lines, you're using hard pencils. Then we have pencil crayons. This is different from our previous topic, which is pencils. Colored pencils may be used to draw fine colored lines or to shade areas in color. So basically, if you need to have color on your shades, you use pencil crayons or colored pencils. In animation, we use non-photo blue pencil or any colored pencil aside from the dark ones, so that we could identify that this line is for guide, while the darker pencils are used to finalize your drawings or your animation. Charcoal. Charcoal is the oldest drawing tool. It was used by our ancestors to draw on walls. It is a dry and dusty medium made from burnt wood. Charcoal for craft and art purposes are found in many forms like pencils, compressed sticks, or natural sticks. A variety of values and hardness produce different effects. So, siyempre, if you are doing barbecue at the pagtripan mo, nakawakan ng uling, charcoal, okay, it will leave a dark stain on your, or dark dust on your hand. You can use even that kind of charcoal to draw, but syempre, it would be difficult if you're not familiar with how to draw with charcoal. Okay, there are pencil that has a charcoal core or sticks, okay, compressed sticks. Okay, it's more on dark colors or black color. Okay, so don't expect any other color, mostly shades of black. Then we have Conte. Conte is a highly compressed form of chalk. Conte crayons, pencils, or sticks come in various densities from hard to soft, but they only have earth colors, example white, black, brown, gray, and rust. So if charcoal is only giving us black colors, okay, all the shades of black, Conte can give us a variety of colors, but it's more on the earth tone and it is more compressed. I'm not very familiar with this one. I haven't seen a Conte. I haven't used them because I'm not more in the arts. So I'm not very familiar with this. The next one, oil pastels. This is very familiar with me. Okay. First, oil pastels, chalk, and chalk pastels. These are very common for high school students. Okay. Oil pastels are a form of chalk that has been compressed with oil. Okay. All chalks and oil pastels come in a wide variety of colors. A variety of soft blended effects can be obtained by layering several colors and using brushes, color, or paper to blend them. Okay? It's very common in high school, especially if you're uh, joining poster making contests. The most common coloring material for that competition are oil pastels. Oil pastels are made out of chalk but compressed with oil. So they are the same concept with chalk and chalk pastels. Then, let's talk about wet materials now. So before we continue, write in the comment section down below what dry materials you have already used and why did you use them. So let's proceed. Felt pens or markers. Felt pens or markers are excellent for layout and design and can be used in some poster work. So most of the time, felt pens are used to finalize some work. Okay, especially if it needs thicker lines. Okay, so if you notice, felt pens or markers have a very soft sponge-like tip, unlike ball pens or other pens. Okay, so it's like a sponge. It will absorb the color or the ink that you put on it, and it has different thickness also, okay, and different shapes of tips, so that it could give you different effects or different prints. Then we have ink or India ink. Okay, ink or India ink is a simple black ink commonly used for drawing, especially comics and comic strips. A variety of tools are used to apply ink: nib pens, fountain pens, brushes, feathers, rollers, and sticks and twigs. So basically, in the old times they use this one, okay, especially if they use feathers, okay, to write. Mostly it's for writing, okay, and another is for lines, for your lines, and sometimes for your signatures, okay, because it's used for fountain pens. Then we have paints. It's very common, okay. Paints, many different types of paints, each have specific properties. Artists may choose a particular type of paint based on the colors and effects it produces, its drying time, the painting surfaces they want to use, and other factors. So here are different kinds of paints. We have acrylic, watercolors, oils, tempera or poster paints, and sign paints. So basically, let's say you're going to paint a house, you're not going to use watercolor because it's water-based, going to fade if you wash it. Okay, acrylics are, if I'm not mistaken, are quick dry. Okay, so if you want to create a poster, you use poster paints. If you want to create a big signages, you use sign paints. So please remember, what you're going to create depends on the paint you're going to use. Okay, and the time that you're going to finish it. Okay, if you need to blend different paints, like for example layer it, you need a quick dry paint, or else it will just mix. Okay, another is where will you put it? Okay, like for example for billboards, you're not going to use water-based colors on a billboard, especially if it's outdoors, or else it will fade because of rain. Okay, so on and so forth. Then again, just like my question earlier, before we continue, write in the comment section down below what wet material have you already used. Okay, Tools used to apply wet and dry materials. So let's do this one. So we have ballpoint pens. So basically you're very familiar because you're using it every day. Ballpoint pens are the regular ink pens that we normally use for day-to-day writing. Ballpoint pens are used for drawing and shading, but care must be taken to control the pressure used. Because sometimes other ballpoint pens, if you press it, it will spread its ink. Okay, so please be careful with this one. Then felt tip pens. Basically, felt tip pens are commonly used by artists. A wide range of colors are available, and the artist can blend colors to create different effects by controlling the pressure used. The artist can create shadings in hard or soft lines. So instead of using pencil, okay, darker color here and sharper lines can be used if control the tip. If you notice, the tip of this felt tip pen is the same like a felt tip marker, but it has a smaller size. Okay. Then we have fountain pens and lettering pens. Basically, these are used for calligraphy. Okay, fountain pens and lettering pens are used for general drawing and sketching or calligraphy. It's more used on calligraphy and using it for your personal signature. Okay, because if you notice at the tip of this fountain pen, okay, it has a divided section wherein if you will write, it will spread. It depends on how you apply pressure and what is the angle you're using. Okay, with that spread, the ink will follow it. Okay, if you're watching in Facebook, there are pages wherein they post videos on different calligraphy. They're using fountain pens for that. Technical pens. Basically, technical pens are similar to fountain pens. They have a tube-like hard nib that can be used both for sketching and for producing detailed drawings. So this is more on detailing, okay, your work. This is mostly used by architects and engineers. Then we have brushes. Of course, if you're going to use wet materials, you're going to use brushes. Brushes come in a wide variety of materials, shapes, and sizes. They are made of fibrous tips. Okay, the soft ones or sometimes hard ones, top, wider, or small one. Okay, conductor called a ferrule. The ferrule is basically the metal part and a wooden or plastic handle. And we have rollers. Rollers, of course. If you're going to use paints, you need rollers. If it's going to be a large area of like let's say a wall, okay, rollers are the go-to appliers of paint. Okay, large paint and small printing rollers or brayers are used for commercial purposes and to make marks for artistic purpose. Then stumps and tortillons. Okay, I'm not very familiar with this one, honestly. Stumps and tortillons are sticks used for blending charcoal, Conte crayons, oil pastels, and chalk. They are usually made of paper that had been wrapped or twisted into the shape of a pencil or a stick. Basically, it's just a paper shaped into a pencil or stick. But for us, we usually use, especially for oil pastels, we're using either a piece of paper, okay, or cotton, okay, to blend our oil pastels. Then we have airbrush. Airbrush is an artist tool used for spraying paint by means of compressed air. Proper ventilation in the working area and appropriate breathing mask must be worn when using airbrush. The airbrush is more on spray. It's like a spray can. Okay? But here, instead of limited amount of color, you can use the reservoir to put or to refill your color. And instead of nitrogen gas, it uses compressed air. So you need to have a compressor to use this one. In one of my hobbies, which is model building or plastic models, okay, wherein we need to spray paint our plastic models. Okay, most of the customizers or modders, okay, for plastic models, they use airbrushes to apply different colors for their plastic models. Palette knife. Palette knife is used both to mix oil and acrylic paints and to apply paints to a painting surface. So basically, it is a blending tool at the same time an applier. Okay. So if you have already used some of those tools that I mentioned, you post this video and write your answer in the comment section which one you already used and how was your experience. Okay. Then let's continue with surfaces on which to make marks. So basically, paper. Originally, all papers was made by hand by mixing rags or cotton fibers with water into a pulp. So basically, that is the way on how to create paper in the past. But now, we are more on mechanical way. So we use fibers from bamboo, sugarcane, hemp, or flax instead of cotton. Okay. But now, we focus this more on wood pulp, okay, because it's really cheap. But the problem is, the more paper we use, the more trees that we cut. So as much as possible, we recycle paper. Okay, paper comes in different sizes. It depends on you on what size you're going to use. Boards are very heavy, stiff paper. Boards weight is described by the number of plies. When say plies, the number of layers, thin layers that make up the board. So example of this is illustration board, the most commonly used during poster making contests. So again, write on the comment section down below what medium have you already used and how was your experience. Then we have other painting and drawing equipment. So these are just additional. We have drafting table. Drafting tables vary. Okay, if you're an animator, you have a different drafting table. Okay, the ones that are being used by illustrators and also architects, they don't differ. Okay, so drafting tables or art tables have a top that can be lifted or tilted to various angles. This allows the artist's eye level to be more directly in line with the working surface. Okay, this is useful because it's very difficult to draw on a flat surface, so you need to change the angle. Okay, again, it depends on you if you want to buy the animator drafting table which has a light at the bottom or the simple drafting table, but of course we don't require it. Artist easels are standing frames that are used to support artwork. A combination of both desk and floor easels are helpful in the classroom. So basically, this is the most common tool for artists, okay? The ones where they put their canvas and they draw. Drawing board. So instead of buying table, you may use drawing boards. Any flat surface, square edge surface can be used as a drawing board. So any scrap wood that has a flat surface, okay, no holes, no lines, you can use it. Okay. Then T-square, basically, it's like a ruler but has a top that shapes like a T. Okay, T-square is made of wood or plastic or metal. It has a head that butts against the edge of the drawing board and a blade that rests across the drawing board at a 90-degree to the head. So basically, it helps you to maintain a straight line. Then we have palettes. Basically, this one is very familiar for artists, wherein you will put different colors. Okay, it's used for holding and mixing surface for paints. Artists may use a handheld palette or a simple palette or porcelain palette on which to blend paints. So it uses portions. Okay, if you want to blend something, you just get a paint, then you blend it there using your brush or your palette knife. Again, if you already use some of the tools that I mentioned, you post this video and you write your answer in the comment section down below and tell us what is your experience with them. Okay. Then we have digital equipment for arts. Basically, we only have one. This one, a drawing tablet and stylus. So basically, with digital digital like Illustrator. Okay, all of the things that I mentioned earlier are already available if you're using Illustrator or Photoshop. Okay, so you just need to have a stylus or drawing tablet. I'm not requiring you to buy, okay, or to have your own drawing tablet. Okay? You can use the screen of your cell phone for this one. Okay, again, it's not a requirement. So, what among the tools have you already used? Just like what I asked earlier, you post this video and you write your answer in the comment section down below. Then, how was your experience with using them? Again, you post this video and you write your answer in the comment section down below. What among the tools that you did not use yet do you want to learn to use? Okay, so again, you post this video and you write your answer down below. For my students, for St. Olga and St. Paul, okay, please answer the activities. Activity 1 is a modified true or false, and activity 2 a performance task. So please answer week number 2, okay, for this week. And your deadline is again Sunday. So for our next topic, we'll be focusing more on drawing basic shapes using lines. So we're going to apply actual drawing skills now. So please prepare a piece of paper. Always prepare a piece of paper for our next lessons, because we're going to do this one. Okay. And again, just like what Albert Einstein says, be inspired. Imagination is more important than knowledge. So if you don't use your imagination, especially our subject, you would have a difficult time. With that, thank you for watching and we'll see you again next time.